Well, good morning, crew. Glad to see you all. and we're hoping that we get this invitation situation figured out by the next time. Uh, anyway, we're welcome and hope you're all having a good time getting ready for the holidays. so, any announcements for the good of the order before we start doing videos?
Tonight's
Okay,
showtime.
I'll drop one in. It's not really multimedia SIG related. Jerry Marion sold his house and moved to Dakota.
So, oh,
What?
He's gone.
what a shame.
Harry,
Ah, is
Now
that
you
this
know
is
as
this
much
isn't
as
this
I do.
isn't this isn't April Fool's, is it?
Nope, nope. Now you know as much about it as I do.
I got who's going to clean up my neighborhood? He lives in my HOA area and they go around and do all kinds of things.
You're on your own.
Yeah,
yeah,
and the frontage road too.
yeah. Okay, and
Showtime is tonight at 7 Arizona time.
time is tonight. Okay, I'm sorry I have a conflict. I hope I will be able to see it on YouTube after the fact.
Oh, and at the board meeting today, like 2:30 Arizona time, they're discussing whether just to Zoom everything, which I assume that's what they're going to do. Forget the hybrid meetings for now because of the COVID uptick.
Is that a club decision or GVR?
That's a well, at this point, it's a club. The club's going to decide, the board today, but I suppose GVR could be more restrictive than us and say you can't have the hybrid ones anymore. But so far they have not.
So, but we still have the club open.
Yep.
Okay. Club is still open for the time being.
Right.
Okay. Well, anybody have something to show today? Kevin. I saw that hand. Anybody else?
That's some hand, Kevin.
Well, didn't you say you had something to share too, Grace?
I can. Yes, I can.
Well, why don't you share what you want to share, and then I'll share my little video.
Okay. Wait, I need to also allow you to share. Okay. So mine is just a less than 2 minutes of my Thanksgiving. And for one section of it, I used the cinematic mode on my 13 Pro. So, and I may want to go back and show you that actual footage to show you how that worked, but I'll have to share my phone with you on that one. So let's go over and okay, it's up. So share the screen. Share that with sound and that. Okay, so here we go. I want something for your son to eat. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably even have it. Crackers.
Yes.
That's everything? But I just want the one on top. Okay. Figure out, here it is. I'm gonna do the gravy. This is ready.
All and I like. It's an acquired taste. Well, you got. And he lost every one.
He lost them all.
That's lovely.
Get out of my way.
I'm out of your way.
No, I know. I know. That's it. This is a dressing spoon. I don't think you have a.
The end.
Very nice.
Made me hungry.
Yes,
Yeah, well, I was using my gimbal, but I wasn't real steady even with that.
Looked pretty good to me.
Okay. Well, and the focus
Yeah, the focus was off.
focus was off. Well, it was slow to pick up the focus at a certain point. Like I was going down the tray of foods. Well, it took a while to focus, and then when I moved down it took a while to focus on the next one, and so forth. It wasn't a broad focus, and maybe I should have been using a wider lens.
I wonder if that was because it's low light, so the phone is shooting wide open as an f-stop, and so you're not getting a lot of depth of field.
That could very well be. So the one, let me just pull this up because I shot it on with my iPhone, obviously, and I shot some of these in that cinematic mode, and I'm going to see if I can find the ones where I changed the focus, the focal point. Okay, so let me see if I can do this. I need to start it at the beginning. What I'm going to do is, okay, let's see if I can share my phone.
I misspelled your name.
Share.
Right-click on the
iPhone.
right-click. Bottom.
Okay. Oh yeah, I have to do stuff here. Your iPhone, iPad connected. Okay. Mirror screen play now, focus. Maybe it's that. Screen mirroring. Oh yeah. With my MacBook Pro. Okay, there it came on. So get back to the video. Now it should be, what I'm wanting to show you is, okay, it's running itself. There's a point at which he's in focus, and then it switches the focus back to her. And so I'm going to show you what this looks like in the editor right here. Because let's see, let's start at the beginning, and I'm moving these with my finger, and so it's all on, but you can see that there's a yellow box on her, then there's a yellow box on him, he's in focus, and then I changed the focus to her back there.
Now, are you doing that, or did the camera
I'm-
automatically do it?
The camera in cinematic mode will do some of that, but I can, after the fact, change those focuses.
Oh,
after the fact. So you see, I'm scrolling it with my finger along here. But if I want to put the focus back from her onto him right there, all I have to do is touch his face and the focus went back to him.
Nice, really nice.
That
Um,
is.
and so, I mean, let's see, I'll scroll it down a little further. Let's put the focus back on her, and I'm just going to tap her face.
Hmm.
And then it's back on him because she's not, okay, there it's back on her. And she's saying, here's to the photographer. Um, and I think then I can put the focus back on him.
Hmm.
And then we can play through that and see. Wait, I need to move this back to the beginning.
That looks so moist, isn't it?
Oh, it's lovely.
Better than usual. Maybe.
I've done a lot of switching of the focuses here, so there. But you can see where the dots are down on the bottom
Here's
line
to the photographer.
when we change the focus.
And this, I can't have it drinked.
Again,
Boy,
he was.
that's really a nice feature.
That is.
Yeah, it's you can set it while you're doing the video, but you can set it after the fact. So and it's showing me an f2.8, but I don't know that I can. Oh, here we go. So if I want to change the f-stop on this so that the stuff in the background isn't quite so blurry. You see where I'm scrolling on the right-hand side?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, I could set this whole thing so it's up at f11, and then there's no point in changing the focal point because it's probably going to be all in focus.
My
The one I did, I left it at 2.8, which really blurred the background. When the reading I've done, it says, leave it somewhere around 5.6 or someplace so that the background is more naturally in focus.
My assumption would be if you're going to turn the f-stop way up to like f8 or f11, Grace, that the video is going to have to compensate for that exposure getting darker. So you're going to get a lot more noise in your image. I don't know. You'd have to look to see if that's the case.
Uh-huh.
But I think like shooting at f2.8 is really nice.
So well, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I think that's see
The
the little
default.
dot there. So it was shot in 2.8.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought I would give you a little okay, so back to that. Oh, I got to get it off the f-stop. Then we get the frame back of what this looks like now. And I'm going to just say done right now.
Grace, is that done with the editing software like iMovie?
No, that's done actually I'm going to stop this for. Okay, so that was all done on my iPhone. I shot it on the iPhone and I edited it on the iPhone. I do not have any editor that will do that, changing the focus and stuff. iMovie won't. So I would have to make all those changes on my phone before I put it into iMovie. So I made some changes, and those were in the clip that I showed you.
So Grace, when you were using your phone to do the editing, were you not using iMovie on your phone then?
No, I was. It's pulled up in Photos. So I mean that's my Photos app. Let me just get out of it, and you'll see that there are all my videos. So it's in the Photos app, but this new cinematic mode, and it says it right up at the top that it was shot with cinematic. I have old equipment, and so I had to do the editing in Photos, and then I went to iMovie on. I did all of this on my phone, um, and then I pulled in short clips out of the various videos that I did. So you saw that there were. I just merged short clips on that, pulled the music and so forth. So those were done in iMovie on my phone.
Grace, I've got a question in general. When you take the video, you've got the focal setting or F setting at a certain place, and I would think that it would try to do it so that most everything is in focus. And though later on, when you go into the special software, what it's doing is making the other areas of the room out of focus, except for the one that you had selected to be in focus. So it would have to have good focus on the whole room to do it, period, to start with.
It actually has to have it all, because you can change what you want in focus after the fact. Pushing and pulling, is that, Kevin, are those the terms you use for push focus, pull focus?
Sounds about right. I
Sounds
mean,
about-
I think James is probably right in terms of the camera shooting everything, and then the software is saying, okay, I'm going to make this point of focus, like the guy was carving the turkey,
Right.
and then I'm going to apply some sort of a filter to the areas going backwards to kind of blur that out. So it'd be interesting to have somebody that, you know,
Knows what they're doing.
knows all this on Apple in terms of, well, like an Apple person would really
Right.
know
Yeah.
the software.
Yeah. I've watched some YouTube and some stuff, and people are saying, you know, this is obviously a new feature that Apple's added to the 13 Pro, and it's interesting. It's not fully there yet, but it's coming along, and I don't know if Final Cut will edit those with the latest version. I don't have that, and I don't have even the latest version on my Mac of software or anything. So I know I can't do that editing like I showed you on the phone that's capable there. Anyway, I just thought you might be interested in that.
It'd be interesting to take a video that was shot with an older phone and put it on your new phone and see if you could edit it that way.
I doubt it.
No.
I suspect that won't work.
And the reason I say that is because on the phone, on the camera, when you pull up the camera, it has photos, it has video. I don't know if you can see where it says that. And then it has cinematic. And so that is a mode that they've added on there. So you have to actually pick
Okay.
that mode.
Grace,
Do you think that cinematic mode could be brought over to an iPhone 12? There would be some software upgrade that would allow you to update it?
I have no idea.
for a small fee.
Doubt it. They're trying to sell
That's called a
phones
new
here.
phone.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a question about the way this works. If, as it's been discussed, what the phone is actually doing is shooting everything in focus, that means they've bumped that f-stop to 11, 16, 20 or whatever, because that's a lot of stuff. Okay, when they did that, by shutting that thing down like that, it could lose the ability for gathering light in low light situations. I wonder how well that would work.
I'm going to need to test that, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have
I
one-
haven't been in a low light situation. That wasn't particularly low light.
No.
But I have some events I can go to now and try it out.
Grace, I have a question. The fact that you have to do it in photos, the editing, does that mean that they're using QuickTime to do the editing? or they're using a portion of iMovie that they've never revealed before? Or did they create a whole total different piece of software called Cinematic in order to allow you to edit on your phone?
I'm gonna guess it's a whole piece, a whole new section of the app that uses all these the software stuff. It and it I don't know. I don't know all the answers to your questions. I really don't, but I do know that it's um, specific to the 13 Pro, not the regular one, and or the Pro Max. And
Does anybody have a new M1 Mac that this could be tried on?
no, but I'm going to get one.
My assumption, Sarah, is right now Final Cut does not do anything like that where you can alter focus points. So I would assume that all of this has to be done in the phone. And even if you took that clip from the phone into Final Cut, you could not do anything like that.
Yeah, it will go into, because I've put this over into Photos on my Mac, and you can't make any adjustments. How it goes over, how you export it over, which is I use AirDrop, is the way it's going to be on the Mac. So anyway,
So you can make all the adjustments on your phone first, and then it will pick those up when you send it over.
It did. Yeah, I think it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have another question. You mentioned you sent that over through iDrop?
AirDrop.
AirDrop.
It's a Mac thing.
It's an Apple thing. All you have to do is be in the same room or someplace, and you select what you want to send to somebody, or in this case, my Mac, and pick AirDrop. It finds it and sends it, and they get it.
So I have a question for those of us who may have iPhones but don't have iPads or Apple for their desktop, because my phone is full of photos and videos, and I've been trying to download them, and I have not been able to do it. I even went over to the Verizon store, not that they know everything, but and they couldn't figure it out either. So I'm kind of in a stumped here because my memory on my phone is filled.
Right. Okay. I'm looking for a product. So I have a little product like this. It's by SanDisk, and the top one here is Lightning, and this is regular USB, and it allows you to put things, whatever you have on your phone, over onto a USB and then take it off. So this just sticks into the bottom where the power is. Okay. And the software comes up and it says, what do you want to go? Which direction do you want to go on this? And then do you want to delete the stuff after you have put it over? I'd be hesitant to do that. But they're not cheap, but I think they're less expensive now than they used to be.
What's it called?
It's called so iDrive. That it doesn't say on it.
SanDisk is the company.
It's called iExpand. A little I with a uppercase X, PAND flash drive. Yeah, by SanDisk, and I've had this one for quite a while. I think this one is a 64 gig, but they go up to 120 and so forth.
Okay, good. I'll
take a look at that.
Yeah.
That's
I'd like to
one
explain,
way.
I'd like to explain a process that I use. Maybe others are using it, but I'm strictly working in a Mac environment. On my regular computer, there's a little program that's part of the Mac called Image Capture.
Mhm.
And all I have to do is hook up a cable between my iPhone and the computer, and I can drop anything over to my computer, just like you would normally transfer files.
Yeah, I mean, I have a cable that I can plug into the bottom of my phone with the USB, and I plug it into my laptop, but I just keep getting error messages, and like
Are
I
you
said,
on
when
are you on a
Okay.
PC or a Mac?
He's on a
I have an
PC.
iPhone
Yeah.
and a Dell PC.
Okay. So
That's the issue. Yeah.
you can get iTunes for your PC,
Yes.
and I understand that that's the way to connect and take things off your phone onto your PC is through iTunes on
Okay,
your
I'll
PC.
look into that
But
too.
I don't know if anybody else has tried that out. I haven't. Well,
I
I
do-
don't have a PC.
iTunes refers back to Image Capture. The two are linked.
Ah, okay.
So there's a piece
But-
of software out there called iMazing that does this thing that the old iTunes used to do before Apple bloated it up. And so iMazing's out there.
How do you spell that, Cyril?
IMAZING. It's a paid for app, but it works universally between PC and Apple. And it backs up your phone if you want to back up your phone to your computer.
Ah,
Okay,
so
thank you all.
is it very
The
expensive?
old iTunes.
Say
I'll
that
report back in 2 weeks whether it works, if I got something to work or not.
Okay. To PC. Okay. I'm not sure how my notes are going to go today. We're all over the place, but it's a good conversation. We all need to have this kind of time to visit about stuff. Anyway, well, Kevin, you want to go on next?
Sure. Did somebody else have a question?
I was just gonna tell Grace to have a glass of wine before she writes up her notes.
Yeah, I better do them.
Maybe a glass or two.
I better do them right away before I forget all of this stuff. They're going to be just some generic. It's nothing specific, I don't think. Okay, Kevin.
All right. I've got a little video. It's about 4 minutes long today. It is another one of my Tombstone, Arizona goodies. There is a new, the backstory is at Old Tucson, there was a zip line was part of the attraction there. And when Old Tucson closed, these couple over in Tombstone has bought the zip line and brought it over to Tombstone. And now it's just started operating, I'd say about 2 months ago. And so anyway, we put together a video for them. And it's a combination of drone, some GoPro, some Osmo handheld, and then also just a couple of shots from the ground. And we can talk about some of the technical goodies after this.
Interesting. It's just as I suspected. What do you mean, sir? What do you see? Well, this beat is going to drop in 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, there you go.
Well, that looked like fun.
Yeah, I think I'll try that upside down stuff right away.
So now on the upside down stuff, did you have your drone falling above them?
Where the camera was looking down?
Yes.
I'd mounted a GoPro to the rigging of the, there's like a trolley, they call it, that the cable, the trolley rides on the cable and that's what goes down the zip line. And so I took one of their spare trolleys and I had to figure out a way to try to rig up the GoPro to that trolley. It took a little bit and a couple of tries to get everything just right. But it did work out pretty good. I'd love to have some sort of a selfie stick, for want of a better term, that you could attach to one of the trolleys that would be out coming back at the person. But maybe that's a project for down the road.
I thought,
Project for Doug.
yeah, I thought you had it looked like you were using a selfie.
Well, there was the shot of me.
Yeah,
I had to work myself in there, by the way.
of course.
I was using my Osmo, my handheld gimbal.
Yeah.
And so the one thing that was interesting, the first time I did it a couple of times, the first time I went down, because I'm not hanging on to the thing up top, so you spin. Well, the gimbal, it's wanting to stay straight, so I was having to like roll my wrist to try to keep myself in the frame. And so I did it the first time and it didn't work real well. And then after the first time, I'm like, okay, now I know what to do. So the second time I did it, was a lot better.
I like how people wore helmets when their head was far from the ground, but when they were upside down, they didn't wear any helmets.
Well, they do that just for the kids. I mean, you have the option, somebody can wear a helmet if they wanted to, but for insurance, I think it's 12 and under, they have to wear a helmet. So don't know why. And it's not far, it's not horribly far off the ground. It's probably 20 feet, but I certainly wouldn't want to fall.
Now, Kevin, the piece that is missing is you didn't ever show a landing.
Well,
I mean, a real landing and how maybe they're awkward or maybe they work well but
well, what happens is a person goes, and I kind of did at the beginning. If I show it, hang on, let me go back. I'll see if I can share it one more time and just go back to the beginning of the video. When the person comes in, there's the platform.
Right.
And they're right. I don't know if you see my cursor, but right here, there's a stop.
Yeah.
It's got like a bungee cord kind of thing. So as the person goes in, you hit that bungee cord. It's not a jarring stop like you're hitting a brick wall. Now, the only thing that I did see that was interesting was they've got a weight limit, I think, of about 275 pounds. And there was a guy who was probably at about 274. And there's a very backstop at the very end. He came within a couple of inches of hitting that backstop. Now, at that point, he's going slow, but that would have maybe been a little jarring, but you would swing because you're on a cable, so it wouldn't be too bad. But I think with some of the kids, if they're too light, they could potentially not make it all the way down to the thing, so they have to get a hook and kind of pull them to the landing pad. So, but I didn't see any of that going on that day.
That doesn't look like it has a very large drop in elevation.
You'd be surprised how fast you go.
Yeah.
One of the technical things that was very difficult was when the person first starts, they're going fairly fast. When they kind of hit the middle, they're not going as fast. And at the end, they're going fast again. So I was trying to fly with the drone. And so it was a windy day. So that made it tough. The other thing is there was a telephone line that was fairly close to the west side of the zip line. And so you've got the wind pushing the drone, you've got that phone line to worry about and those poles. And then you've also got the factor of speed, people that are bigger, are going faster, the kids are going slower. And so really it took a lot of, when I first started, that day I was horrible with the drone in terms of trying to match the speed of the person. As the day went on, I got a lot better at it. But it was very difficult. There's a lot of things to worry about, and then not hitting the cable as well is another issue. So anyway, it worked out good though.
So you were there like all day shooting?
Yeah.
kind of?
Yeah, I think we started about 10:30 in the morning and shot right through till about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So
Wow.
they've also got a thing that's not working yet. There's a thing where they've got these electronic guns, and they have some targets that are set up, and they'll have contests where people try to, as they're zip lining, to electronically hit the target with the little gun. And so they supposedly that's going to be fixed here pretty soon. And once it is, then we'll go back and shoot some more of that. And that should be fun too.
So
Kevin,
I didn't,
Kevin?
oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Rob.
You later share the video with the business that was running the zip line.
You bet. They've already literally, the one thing that was interesting was I put this video together that you saw, and I thought, okay, what changes are they going to want to make? Because usually everybody always wants to make changes. And the guy said, perfect, love it, had it up on the website immediately, sharing it on social media and everything else. So it's already out there, and it'll definitely help them promote that business.
Yeah. So what was the exact title of your video there?
Oh, it's called Outlaw Zipline is the name of the thing, and it's right there in Tombstone, right off of Allen Street, which is their main drag. So while we were there, I was just amazed that really it had only been open for about a month, and the number of people that came over to do it. And then the guy was telling me that they will rent it out for an hour or two for like a birthday party. And they had somebody come over from Sierra Vista. They had about 20 people. They rented it for a couple of hours. And the guy was probably in his 50s, and he had the grandkids there and the kids and friends. And he said that the guy said this was the best birthday present I could ever have. Everybody had so much fun. So it's nice to hear stuff like that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it kind of looked like they were sitting in a seat of some sort,
Well,
or
what
harness.
Yeah, you've got a harness that goes in between your legs and then on your shoulders, and it's a safety harness. Basically, I've got one that I use when I have to get up in a man lift to do photography. They require you to have a safety harness like that. So you basically have that harness on, and then when you climb up the stairs to the top of the zip line, and they've got that little trolley, they hook you to the trolley. And the thing that's really very reassuring is when you get up to the top of the platform there to take off, they have a safety line they hook up to your safety harness. So God forbid you fell or something, you're only going to drop a foot. You're not going to go all the way off the platform. They'll put you they hook you up to the trolley, and then they have you just sit. So now you're just suspended from the line. And then when you say you're ready, they hit a little release and boom, and down you go. And then people can decide if they want to do it regular, or if they want to be upside down, or they want to do spins, or it's whatever you want to do.
So are they able to do this, the Superman mode? Where
What's
you're
that?
kind of laying there?
No, you cannot be forward because you're attached to the front of your chest.
Okay.
Is where so maybe at some point, somehow, I don't know, somehow you would have to rig that up that the harness would be that way. I'll have to suggest that. Maybe, I'm sure somebody will try it.
When I was down in Costa Rica, I did not do this because I chose to do something else that day, but they alleged that they had the longest zip line in the world. It's over 1 mile long. And that is one of the options. And some of my friends did the Superman mode and
Sure.
everything, where they're laying down going over the rainforest.
Yeah, I've heard that about the Costa Rica zip line, that is the world's longest. This one is I don't know, it's at least 300-400 feet. I'd say it's more than it's way more than a football field. And it's not, and for somebody that does zip lining like that or does some of these really wacky things, this isn't scary at all. This is definitely very much kid friendly and stuff. So anyway, it was a lot of fun to shoot it. I'm looking forward to going back at some point again, and when they get the electronic guns working, I think we can have some fun with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds like this group wants a field trip out there.
I don't know. The Costa Rica one is on my bucket list. Probably is going to just stay there, but zip lining
Sounds
through
good.
the
I think we
rainforest
should
is
do
what I-
that. Costa
Rain-
Rica sounds good.
Yeah,
That's a field trip.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least you
They've
don't
got
have
a
to worry about
nice-
COVID.
They've got a nice line in Maui. And you got 8 different runs back and forth.
Yeah, I've seen those. Oh, well, I mean, I've looked into them, but
Yeah, we did that.
yeah. Well, now you have to go back and do the Maui one and shoot some video. But, I could tell because of the number of people you had going that you were there for a long time, Kevin.
Yeah, like I said, it really, the very first, I'd say 4 or 5 people that went, and I was trying to use the drone, and I was horrible. Just, I was worried about the phone lines and the wind and everything else. And it's like anything else. Once you kind of start doing it, you start to get a feel for things, and you get better and better as it goes. And by the end of the day, I was feeling pretty good about the stuff I was getting with the drone. So it definitely was a challenge, but it was fun.
Couple things, Kevin. I like the foot shot. I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
Those were your feet.
Yes, thank you.
That's cute. I'm curious, when you shoot something like that that's going to be used as advertisement, then did you have to get all of those individuals' permission to have that out there?
We basically went ahead and asked people if we were shooting, is it okay if we shoot you doing this? And everybody was very excited about it and wanted it. The first question was, well, when's this going to be up? When are you going to have this up? And I had told people, oh, it's probably going to be a couple of weeks, considering we're going to have to do some changes in editing and stuff like that. And so literally to have it up a couple days afterwards was great. So yeah, we basically made sure that everybody was okay with our doing it, and there was no issues.
So was that outlawzipline.com? Is that
I think it is. I gotta look at the video.
looked
Hang on.
like it?
Yeah, it's outlawzipline.com. Yep.
And that's where you can go to see it.
Yeah, you can go to their website and they've got photos. The photos are from old Tombstone. So I didn't shoot any of the photography. We were just concerned about doing video. I think when we get to doing the gun thing, that we'll try to get some still photography that they can use. But the photography that's up there is very nice. That was from old Tucson, I should say. So
When they get those laser guns going in that, they should have like you do at a carnival where the people pop up and pop back down. Or fall back down when you hit them.
I'd have to raise the prices for that, Todd. I think they already have enough money into installing this, getting this going. And so anyway, it'll be interesting to see, I think, as time goes on here, especially during the holidays and then the summer with the kids being on school break. I think they're going to do real well. It adds another thing for people to do in Tombstone, because there's not a lot for the kids to do. So I think this will be something that'll be really good for them.
And my grandchildren were terribly bored when I took them to Tombstone. They
Well,
just
see?
and then kind of started talking about it with my kids. But most of us, growing up and watching TV in the 50s and 60s with Gunsmoke and all the different Westerns and everything, you really don't see many Westerns on TV these days.
You're right.
So it's kind of not of an interest to them.
Kids want to know where the pool is.
Yeah.
It's hot. I want to be in the water.
Yes. Yeah. Well, when my grandchildren were here this past summer for 2 weeks, the highlight was a few days we spent up on Lake Powell. You know, we did all kind of things, but that was their favorite thing.
Get from the box.
Yeah, right. Well, does anybody else have anything? That was excellent, Kevin. That's
Thanks.
a lot of fun.
I don't have anything, but I do have a question for Kevin.
Sure.
We are going to go to Tombstone this weekend to the bull riding event
Yes.
for the outlaw. Do you have any advice on how to shoot or anything about that event?
You know, the only thing I would say, I mean, you're going to be in seats and you're having to shoot through the bars. They do have seating that's up higher where you can shoot down kind of over the bars, but you might need a little bit more of a telephoto lens. Other than that, I would say the only other thing is usually the action, as soon as they open that gate, the action is within a few seconds. Either the guy's going to stay on or they're going to be bounced off. So if you can get some of the seats that are up on the hill, I think that's your better perspective versus there are some grandstand seats that are a little lower, but you'd be shooting through the bars and I don't think it would be as good.
Okay, because our seats, I think, are fairly close. So
Okay.
if we can change our seats, it would be better to get the seats that are higher then?
If you can, I mean, you know, it's like anything else. The best part is go this time, see how the seats are. If it
Okay.
works, you know, great. If you see those other seats and say, oh boy, I think he's right, maybe after the event. But I'll tell you what, is a lot of fun and it's just amazing to see these guys, these young men that do this are so brave. Those bulls
They're
are
nuts.
nasty. They are
And
nuts.
women.
No, there's no women that are doing the bull riding. This is,
Really?
They don't allow it.
oh, trust me, 1,500
Are
pounds.
they
of-
too smart?
The women are very smart. There's a little bit of stupidity and insanity in bull riding. But I'll tell you what, there's
Depends on
Just-
the-
nasty
There's one that
snortings,
doesn't-
there's
Yeah.
snot coming out of their nose, and these bulls are they are not happy and they want to do everything they can to get that rider off the back and then attack them. So the other quick goodie, the rodeo clowns are great. So you may be able to get some nice photos of them doing their
Okay.
thing.
Good heroes.
All
Yeah.
right, thanks.
Susan's got it figured out why there's no women riding bulls. They don't allow women to ride bulls. It's a men-only
It is.
event because they don't want the little girls showing them up.
That's gotta be a lot of bull.
Yeah, that's right.
I bet there's some women who do really well with that event.
Oh boy, I'll tell you what, I know they do the horses and the stuff like that, and I think they're great. When I went and shot that, it was the first time I'd seen it in person. Trust me, you don't want to be anywhere near that bull. And it is a pure strength thing to hang on with one hand, because that's all you've got. They wrap up that one hand, and when that bull takes off, it's not like it's some little joyride through the dirt. He's bucking and they're in the air, and a couple of times they're probably 10 foot off the ground. And then that's a long way to fall.
If you notice that the modern day bull riders are already pre-packaged for EMS,
Oh, yes.
look at them.
Fancy
The
collars.
vests.
Oh, they've got the helmets, they've got the body vest. I mean,
Yeah.
it's, yeah,
Just
trust
scoop
me.
and run.
Well, you
Well,
better-
it'll be an experience.
if you want, Holly, I'll see if I can get you signed up for it so you can
It's
try it.
okay. No thanks.
Just imagine sitting around the table at OSHA trying to make those regulations.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
You'll have a lot of fun. It's a really.
I'm wondering if I could handle the zip line. Forget about the
Yeah. Zip lines are easy.
We'll get you going upside down doing tricks, Holly.
Well, does anybody else have any good topics or questions or Are you working on some projects for maybe next time?
Well,
I
we
hope
got,
to have one next time.
Okay, good. Sherry.
Now that I've said it, then I'll have to do it.
Got it.
it'll probably.
Yeah, I'm
take
working
us-
on a few of them, but hopefully I have something in 2 weeks. Just
Okay.
came back from a 2-week trip down to the British Virgin Islands sailing for 2
Nice.
weeks. So I
Nice.
just started downloading everything to it. You know, one of the conundrums that I face with it and everything is, so I had some photos and everything, but a lot of video and everything. It's just getting through all the video and seeing like, well, what was worthwhile, which I take. And I actually, I'm joining the drone world here. I bought a drone. It only came like 3 days before I left, and I started to work with it. And then I was like, no, I'm not that experienced with this. And being out on the open water, if I screw up something, it's gone. So I was really looking forward to having a drone, but and I do, but just not this trip, next trip.
Yeah. Right.
We've got a lot of footage and photos from the Canyonlands trip. That's going to take a while to sort out. We did learn one interesting thing. It was so bright out there. We had 4 days of absolutely gorgeous weather. But if you put the circular polarizer on the camera lens, and then your clip-on polarized glasses, you can't see squat through the damn range of the viewfinder. And
I
even
found that.
on the window on the back for live view, we just finally had to go with a high aperture and back button focus and hope for the best. A lot of times it worked out pretty good, but I lost a really good shot of a crow. He was out of focus the whole way, and it was perfectly centered, and shucks.
Yeah.
The night shoots didn't work out. It was so cold at night that it killed the battery after 150 exposures.
Wow.
It was 20 degrees.
When the
At
people
night.
from Minnesota wouldn't stay out, that was a clue.
But it's a spectacular place if you ever get the opportunity to go there.
Well, I'm glad you got there and have a lot of work to do now.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
They always do. Todd, did you ever get your Halloween pictures?
I have not finished that. It's kind of the same issue where I shot so much video of it. It's just going through it and then piecing together. So that's one of I probably have a dozen projects that I have in folders that working on, but I need to complete some of them. So actually I was thinking about that before we started the class and everything. I said, well, I should have it done by next Halloween.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
One issue we have on top of the sheer number of photos is when I got back, the first thing he did was 2 days of diagnostics, trying to find the problem. And it ultimately resulted in a complete reload of the Windows operating system, which wipes out all your installed software. So we're almost recovered from that.
Oh, gee.
Was that on your camera or your computer?
On the desktop.
On the desktop.
Don't know what the issue was.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you probably tried everything to avoid doing that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, well, have a great Christmas, folks.
Yeah, have a great Christmas,
Merry Christmas.
everybody.
And we're gonna go for the 27th
Yep.
again, and maybe we'll have something holiday-ish or so forth. And I'll try using my cinematic stuff and see what happens. A little better, anyway.
Sounds good.
All
Yep.
righty. Well, I'm going to stop the recording now.